11 tips to being a great manager. Now into week 2 of this, rules 7 through 11 plus our bonus 12th rule. All right, last week we went through rule 1 through 6. Now this week we go through rules 7 through 11. Let's get started. Rule number 7, you need to give your creative teams space to be creative, especially when you're working with engineers. Don't give your engineers guidance on every last detail, every last bit of code, every last bit of a hardware product that they're trying to design. Give them directional guidance in terms of here's what we believe customers want, but give them the creativity and allow them the space to solve the problem. You can't dictate the whole specification. When you do this, you take away the natural creativity of your engineers to come up with groundbreaking solutions. I've seen this over and over and over again in my career, where I've been involved in many groundbreaking solutions. And sometimes the idea might just be, hey, what if we did this? And then the combination of this, which could just be one line of information. Hey, we've noticed customers are interested in this type of thing, this type of problem. I've seen this happen again and again. And then what happens is then you let your engineers noodle on, and they come back and they say, oh, here's how we solve this. It's a great way of working. Give your creative team the freedom to be creative. Don't get in the way of it. Don't overwhelm them with too much. That's really the message here. Rule number 8, which goes directly after rule number 7. Give your engineers the ability to meet customers directly. I used to love doing this. Bring engineers out into the field. Get them meeting with customers. Get them listening and learning exactly what customers want and why. This may be a great surprise for many of the engineers that you work with, because many of them may have just been stuck in a hole doing their coding, doing their engineering work, doing their whatever it is that they're doing, and they have no idea why customers want what they want. If you get them in front of customers, it really helps. Now, let me add to this one. Don't let them go alone. You should go with them. And if it's not you, have somebody on the marketing side go with them. Work in teams. This is a really smart way to do it. If people don't have experience dealing with customers, you don't want to just throw them to the wolves. That makes 0 sense. However, you can make up a lot of ground and move really quickly and learn a ton and get your engineers really thinking about how to solve problems by getting them out in the field with people that are experienced in the field too. That's the way to make this work really, really well. I've seen this work. It works great. Try it. It absolutely works. Now to the dark side of management. Rule number 9. Handle yourself with class and grace, even when you're firing someone. Remember, it's your fault, nobody else's, that you had to fire the person. You hired them, therefore it's your fault if they didn't work out. So here's what you don't do. You don't need to drag people through the mud when you're terminating them. Handle yourself with class and grace. Be generous on the severance package you give somebody. There's no need to haggle over that last $1,000 or whatever it is. Give it to them. Let them walk away with their head held high. Understand it's your fault that they failed. Really be clear about that in your mind and feel bad about every single person you have to let go. In fact, here's a basic rule for you. The day you don't feel bad that you have to terminate somebody and you don't take it personally is the day you shouldn't be CEO anymore, because then you've lost your humanity. And humanity is a big part about being a successful CEO. Rule number 10, as I said, every firing is your fault, nobody else's. You hired them, you have the responsibility of it. If you made a bad hire, you screwed up. You made the mistake. If you didn't train the person well, you made the mistake. The worst ones are when you have to lay somebody off. That's really your fault. You've got nobody else to blame, because guess what? You didn't execute as a company. Own it all the time. Own every single bit of it, because it's all your fault. All of it. Learn from your mistakes here. Feel bad. Hire carefully when you're hiring people, because you know what? You're affecting people's lives, especially when you terminate somebody. It may be the first time in their life they've ever failed really, really badly. Feel bad about all of these things. Own every single bit of it. Now let's go to rule number 11. Give feedback in a supportive way. Never, ever, ever embarrass someone publicly. I've been on the other side of this. In fact, I've been embarrassed publicly by a CEO. It sucks, and it's not something you want to do. And to be honest with you, I've done it as a CEO to employees. And every single time I've done it, I've lived to regret it. Because you know what? First of all, you don't need to go to that level. There's no need to do it. There's no need to get angry with somebody that way. Learn to control your anger. Learn to manage it. You can talk to somebody one-on-one and explain why they're not doing well. But to do that publicly, remember, these people have feelings. They've got to work with everybody else, and you're humiliating them in front of other people. Now, also remember this. The other people in the room are going to think to themselves, you know what? Maybe next time it's going to be me. And I don't want to work in a company where that's the way that the CEO operates. So remember, your words, your deeds, everything you do has ramifications beyond the situation you're dealing with. Everybody remembers, everybody will talk about it. Look at how the CEO acted today. Don't be that person. Don't make the mistake I did in my younger days of doing that. Don't do it, because you know what? You'll live to regret it. That's rule number 11. Okay, now for our bonus rule number 12, which is, let's go back to rule number 1. The team is the most important thing. Again, it's so hard to run a business without great people. So what's our mission? Our mission is so simple. We want to build a great team with great people and give them a great environment to operate, a great culture to operate in, so that they succeed and thrive. That's what we're about. If we do that and forget all the other rules, our chances of success go way, way, way up. So that's your mission as a manager. That's your mission as CEO. Hire great people, put them in a great environment to succeed, and you know what? There's a great chance your company is going to succeed. I'm Brett at brettjfox.com. I hope you've enjoyed these 11 rules. Thank you so much. Bye.